3F podcast may contain language or subject matter that may not be suitable for kids.
And we're the best friends that anybody could have.
You've been fucking warned.
I drink liquor.
Go to our website at b3fpodcast.com for merch. Click on Tell Us What You Really Think to leave a completely anonymous review of each of us.
Oh, yeah, just a sick sucker is the best like it.
Enjoy the show, you cunts.
All right.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
How much, man? It has been so long.
It has been so long. Yeah, I noticed as soon as we started streaming that the camera went choppy.
Oh, yeah.
So let's change cameras.
What are you drinking tonight?
I have Bushmills Prohibition. Let me get it in front of you here. Bushmills Prohibition recipe. If you notice, it's the Shelby Company Limited.
Yeah. Nice.
It's a limited release they did in conjunction, I guess, with the Peaky Blinders.
Okay. I just got the the big bottle of Tully.
Nice.
Yep. I found we're both doing side projects, right? We're like
Sure.
the original OG band.
Right.
We're together, and then like we've run off and we do solo projects and occasionally team up. But
Right.
But anyway,
So
cheers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's not bad.
So
That's
good.
not bad at all. 92 proof.
I've started getting the big bottles because I'm drinking more now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm doing more shows. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. So for some people tuning in, because I already saw the numbers kind of jump up there for a moment. Some people tuning in, you don't know who we are.
no, we're strangers.
Yeah.
Stranger danger coming up right now.
So I am Joey. That is Steven. And together we are. No.
B3 podcast.
Right. So we've been doing this show steady for 3 years, and then we took a little hiatus, and we've come back and had to take a couple other months off just because work and travel for work and things like that. It's just been crazy. But
at this point, it's just when we can or when we
it's it really.
feel, or feel like it. It's
I'd like to do it. I'd love to be able. I would love for us to have enough time to do it every week like we used to. But that's a lot to ask at this point in our life.
It's kind of like being me. I wish we could fuck as much as we used to, but we just don't.
That's true.
There's kids and work, and I've had
true.
It doesn't work out the same.
Right. So, so if you caught that and you didn't catch our intro, this is a very not safe for work, not kid friendly show.
Okay.
There's no real format.
I like to think there are some toddlers that would fucking love this show.
Well, there probably are, and they're probably Scottish or Irish, maybe a little British, but
Yeah.
But so anyway, I just want to give a quick-ish background to anyone tuning in for the first time. So
Yeah. It's your first time. It's on. Nice.
yeah, hang with us. The chat is open. Feel free to drop in. We'll talk back to you we'll read your comment and we'll
talk.
Yeah.
Say anything you want.
Yeah. Anything you want. Ask us any question, whatever. So we do another show with some guys, and that broadcasts every other Sunday on the Soul TV Facebook page, and it's called Something for the Weekend.
Yep. So
if you're on that page as well, and you've seen that show, and you think, where do I know these two white guys from? That's where you know us from. So that being said, this is nothing like Something for the Weekend.
No.
So if you're expecting us, we'll definitely debate topics and we'll argue with each other.
Yeah, but nothing. You will walk away with nothing of value from your time with us, other than some good times.
That's right. Really, I just hope you laugh some. So that's the thing. We've
already done in the past, and we haven't because it's been so sporadic with us getting back on. But we always like to invite people to drink with us. So if you're watching, you're going to hang out, pour yourself a drink, and just hang out with us.
And let us know in the chat what you're drinking.
Yeah.
And we announced at the beginning of the show what we have. If you missed it, let us know. We'll tell you again.
They can rewind it. God damn it.
Yeah, well, that as well. But so we're gonna do this show, as we can. I think at the beginning of the year we're shooting for once a month, and we made it about 4 months into the year, and then we got really busy. But we'll do this show periodically. There are 161 back episodes that you can listen to anywhere that there is podcast. You can get the audio version. You can go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/B3F podcast.
Jesus, are you
and
done?
There's a lot of videos there. No, I'm plug, man.
Plug. Well, since you've been doing other shows, now you're a lot more like you're taking the lead and being professional and trying to throw all this shit out there. Well, we just like you shut the fuck up and let's talk about things, man.
So, that being said, right off the bat, this week, we lost another one.
Oh.
Did you have a crush on Suzanne Summers growing up?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Gaza. Okay, yeah, Suzanne Summers.
Oh, no. We lost a hospital and a school and
no, Suzanne Summers. No, I did like me some Suzanne Summers, but she was never cemented a place in my spank bank. Just never happened.
And she did a little bit with me because I remember my mom watching Three's Company growing up, and so with
my Gaza comment costs us like 10 listeners.
Well, it'll be all right.
It's okay.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
If you can't make light of something, it has too much power. Hamas.
Suzanne Summers, continue.
Suzanne Summers. I remember my mom watching Three's Company, and so I remember seeing her on that. And I feel like there was something else I saw her on at some other time, but was
it Step by Step that she wasn't?
That's what it was. Step by Step. Yes, with Patrick Duffy. Yeah, Step by Step. So that was another one later on, and then she had the Thigh Master, which was every 13-year-old loved that commercial.
Yeah.
So. But I used to think she was
Three's Company era. Suzanne Summers was top tier.
Oh my God, yes, for sure.
IMO.
Oh yeah, IMO.
Slay.
Peak. Yes, that was definitely peak Suzanne Summers. But even as she got, I didn't realize how old she was, and I can't remember what the number is now, but I want to say she was in her 70s.
Yeah,
she still looked pretty damn good to be in her 70s.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna look up how old she was. I have no.
Yeah, there you go. I'm pretty sure she was in her 70s. I may be wrong, but she still looked pretty damn good to be in her 70s.
Yeah.
So
76.
Anyway,
76.
76. There you go. So she was in her mid 70s.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not bad looking for 76 years old.
I consider that late 70s.
Do you see, how do you split the decades up when it comes to that? Because I have a very specific rule that
mid of the decade could be 4, 5, and 6 if you want to. You have 1, 2, and 3 early, 4, 5, 6 middle, 7, 8, and 9, or whatever. Late.
Yeah, 7, 8, and 9 is late. Yes, it's early, middle, and late.
And see, in my mind, mid is just 5. Everything else is early or late.
Oh, I see.
I like to divide it that way.
You're rounding up or rounding down. No,
if it's early, it's before the midpoint. If it's mid, it's the midpoint, and if it's late, it's after the midpoint.
Yeah. It's not the middle 70s; it's the mid 70s. So it's the mid 3-year mid. That's how I do it. It's 70 is 70, 80 is 80, right? But then you have 1, 2, 3 is early, 4, 5, 6 is mid, 7, 8, 9 is late. That's how I do it.
Would you hope you live past your mid 70s?
It all depends on my health and how I can get around on my own. That's really what it depends on. If I'm in good health, I can get around fine on my own. I can live on my own, wipe my own ass, that kind of stuff. I'm fine. I'll live to whatever. If I'm in shit tons of pain, or I'm senile more so than I am now, or someone else has to wipe my ass, then that's it. I'm out.
I think 80's my cap, no matter my level of health.
Well, at
that point, I've been suffering through this bullshit for 80 years. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do another.
But older ages are getting more and more, quote, younger, right? You're like,
no,
you always went through the whole thing where it was like 40's the new 30, 50's the new 40, that kind of, that those cliche sayings is what I'm talking about. But
80's the new 70, that is not better. No.
Yeah, but see, 80 used to be the 120. So that was back in the day. If you lived to be 80, You are an old fucker.
Back
I
in the day, you
mean,
have to be 50. You're an old fucker.
that's true, unless you're a Methuselah.
It's
But
like, oh,
you know,
look at you. You just turned 10. It's time to get married and fucking
right,
go to work.
right. You better have me some grandbabies.
Right. Yeah, and have a lot because about 3/4 of them are going to die before 3.
Yeah, and the ones that don't die before 3 are going to die in the field the next year.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
oh God, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to answer your question, it depends on my health, honestly, and my
Okay.
cognitive function. Really.
Yeah,
So,
see, I figure by 70, anything tied to like kids or grandkids, because really, in my mind, if you after you start having lineage, I understand the desire to see like your kids grow up and maybe have relationships and then maybe see your grandkids. But after
sure.
your grandkids, who gives a shit about your great grandkids or great great grandkids at that point? It's like you're so detached from them at that point. Like,
Yeah,
who fucking cares?
agreed. I agree with that. I just, I think, I don't know. I'm not that interested in great grandkids or great great grandkids. I'm just more interested in like what else can I do in my life if I'm in good health is really
Even if you're in good health, how the fuck much more are you gonna do when you're in your mid 70s to 80s?
I agree. I don't know. I'd like to
Slap
try.
on the
I'd like to find
rollerblades
out.
and go for a brisk fucking skirt around the neighborhood? Like, Jesus.
No, I mean at that point we'll be legitimately on hoverboards.
Yeah,
So
we'd hope. We were supposed to be on hoverboards years ago.
that's true.
Years ago.
I kind of thought Elon would eventually do that for us, but obviously not.
Yeah,
So
they're such a waste of research money on the things they research. Like, we need hoverboards, and I want a boner pill that I can just take yearly, and it is good for
oh,
365
you just take.
Pop that shit January 1st, good to go till December 31st.
Wouldn't it be great if you could figure out a way to distill it in some whiskey so it's just like the boner whiskey?
You could.
No. In you could do it in the
Or not just fill
process
it
where
in.
it's
Oh, it's
there.
in the process and sell
You're just
boner.
getting every time you drink some whiskey, you're just getting a little bit of that boner medicine in
You'd
there.
be the only whiskey you could guarantee will not give you whiskey dick. It'd be a good
That's
great
true.
marketing campaign. A great marketing campaign with that.
Yeah, you can call you could call it whiskey dick with a question mark.
Right? Guaranteed. Yeah. Drink all
Yeah.
you want and you can still fuck. After a
Oh
bottle, you can
God,
do more than just hand stuff.
that's right.
Yeah.
Um, well, there was something else I was fixing to ask you about, and I can't remember. But we've not really talked in a while either.
No,
So
it's been a while since we've had our any
you,
kind of quit fucking with your goddamn camera and just talk to me. Be present, Joey. Be
I
present.
am present. I'm present enough to notice my camera was fucked up. Um, how is the move going? Have you moved yet? I don't feel like you have.
No. Delay with the city, how that shit works, getting on the utilities connected, like the main
I
to
see.
the neighborhood hasn't happened yet, so it can't close until that shit happens. But
Now, are you building a house? You're having a house built? Oh,
yeah,
look at you!
yeah,
Look at
yeah.
you!
No, it's not that fancy. It's not that kind of like
You're having you have commissioned a house to be built. You have commissioned a house to be
yeah,
built.
in the most redneck fabulous way possible.
Hey, I've never commissioned a house to be built.
Right. So
I,
this particular company that we went through, how this works is usually if you have the home builder, you have the lot, you have to buy that shit, and you pick your floor plans and your accessories and all that shit. Now, they have an option of like 4 floor plans for the neighborhood. Like, which one you like? Okay, that one, we pick everything the fuck out. You have no choices for any other part of this house. So, and we'll put grass in the front yard, like sod the front yard, but then we just put some straw and shit in the backyard.
Yeah, some seeds and some straw.
Like a 4x4 fucking patio on the back porch, and that's fucking it. All the rest is like it's all me. So it's nothing. It's for the money and in the area, it's a decent spot, but it's nothing. I didn't get to, like I said, commission a house. It's more or less like, I like that floor plan, and they're like, okay, then that's it. So that's the only choice I got.
But did you ask for it, and they're going to build it for you?
No, they were already going to build it.
They were already going to. Now they're just building it faster.
Yeah, but basically until they they don't start the building until it gets under contract. But
Well, there you go.
Money is already. But you know what? Like to reserve the house for like an earnest money thing, it's $95 online. Like I was like $100,
Wow.
fucking locked in the house. Yeah, I mean there is still before you could sign the contracts like an initial like deposit whatever, but it was still VA. Still there's no down payment for me.
So, right, sure. So you said in the most redneck white trash way, like you're
Yeah.
having a house built or whatever. So, are you double wide or triple wide?
It's neither. It's stick built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stick built. I was gonna go. I had the double wide picked out, but they kept snowballing other costs into the shit, and it ended up being more than a fucking house was gonna be, like a full, like 2-story
Yeah,
house.
sure.
So I ended up just doing the other. But I'm moving bumfuck nowhere too. So there's that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going. It's going. We'll see. But otherwise working. But it's weird. It's so funny to me over the last year how we've switched places with work. In the sense of like I was traveling non-fucking stop, and now you're kind of in that position, and I'm just home most of the time.
The crazy thing is it only feels like I've been traveling nonstop because it happened all of my travel happened so quickly and so unexpectedly. But I've only done like 7 trips this year, some 6 or 7 trips, but it just happened really quickly. So,
Yeah.
and one of those trips was 2 weeks long in New Jersey.
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying. Like I was traveling, but it'd be like half a week, a couple days here, 3
Right.
days here, a week here, but it was every week, like constantly. And I mean, you've kind of been in that boat of the last few months anyway. Because 7 times, if you think about it, it might be since the beginning of the year. The bulk of those have been over the last probably 6 months, give or take.
Yeah. I think my first trip was January and the second was in February or March. And then I didn't go anywhere else until June, I think,
Yeah.
or July maybe. And then it's just been boom, 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 boom. It was.
Yeah. I miss that shit a little bit. I really do. Like
I enjoy it.
I like the travel when I feel like I'm able to balance other shit while I'm home. But when it feels like I'm not doing anything but the travel, then it gets a little fucking old.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I enjoy the travel, and honestly,
you have older kids too, so that makes a
I
difference.
do have older kids, yes,
Yeah.
and which is nice because when we leave, then they can just take care of the dogs. So, which I say so I've been hashtag blessed to be able to have my wife go on like 50% of the trips that I've went on this year,
Okay.
which has been honestly really fun.
Mhm.
We've had a good time together. When we were in New Jersey for 2 weeks, I told her like the few days before, I was like, "Are we gonna be able to survive this? Like we're in a hotel room for 2 weeks, right? We'll get to get out at night and have dinner and things like that, but I mean that's 2 weeks of right there, next to each other the whole time, and we both kind of had the same apprehension. But I mean, honestly, it was a good trip."
Yeah.
Honestly. And
No,
we went to New York a couple of days while we were up there, and which neither of us had been to New York before, so that was nice. But the highlight of that trip, aside from being there with my wife, the highlight of that trip was Broadway, surprisingly. And I know I text you that I'm pretty sure I'm gay now.
Yeah.
Because I
Now.
loved the well, yeah. Officially, I'm out of the closet.
Oh, you're out. Okay, you're official. Sweet.
I am out
You heard
and
it
loving it.
tonight, exclusive tonight on
It's
B3F.
exclusive tonight. Yes. No, I took my wife to go see Wicked on Broadway. It was the 2 p.m. Saturday show.
So they tried 3/4. It was probably a 90%.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I found out like a day or so later. I was looking at the 2 main actresses, like to see who they were, and they were the stand-ins, like they were the extras, like there at that time, for a couple of different shows, but they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I went into it thinking I'll be neutral. I don't care. She's going to have a good time. I can sit here for 2 or 3 hours and be fine. And the last act right before intermission blew me away.
Right.
Like just blew me away. And I was in at that point. And fucking Wicked is amazing. I don't want to ever go see anything else on Broadway because I can't imagine anything would be that good.
That sounds like some shit you would say. I
can't imagine. I cannot imagine anything being that good. And I don't want to spend that kind of money to go see something that's not as good. That's the thing.
And the thing is I mean, Wicked's great what I've seen, but there's so many good, like The Lion King is fucking unreal.
I can imagine it is.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that it's any better than what I saw.
And
That's the thing. And I hear that the Back to the Future's on Broadway, and I hear it is phenomenal.
I want to see Book of Mormon. I never got to see
I
that.
do want to see Book of Mormon, and I
But
do
see,
want to see
It's
Spamalot.
funny to me though that you compare them in the sense of like, oh, I'm not going to spend money on that because it can't be as good. It won't be as good as opposed to looking at it
I
as
don't want to.
like, oh, I'm never going to go to another movie ever again because the next movie I see might not be as good as fucking Top Gun. It's like Jesus.
I mean, I couldn't tell you the last movie I went to in theater.
Well, I don't go to movies in theaters because people are the fucking worst and ruin everything. But I watch.
No, I get what you're saying, and if I'm ever in the position again, and my wife wants to go to a Broadway show, will I go? Yeah, I'm sure I will. But most of the other stuff on Broadway, I don't care anything about seeing aside from Spamalot and the Book of Mormon. Yeah. Really, I mean, I would go see Back to the Future because I hear the special effects are amazing in it.
Yeah,
but that's really that's it.
I wouldn't think of like going to a Broadway show. It's for the performance, the dynamic. I don't go for the special effects.
I understand that, but that's what I've heard, that the special effects in Back to the Future on Broadway are phenomenal. So
thank God we'll shit on Christopher Lloyd. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, no, of course not.
Yeah,
but still,
I got CQ, one of our mutual buddies, torn up one night because I told him I hope they remake. I told him they reboot Back to the Future.
I remember him saying they better leave Back to the Future alone. It does not need a reboot, a remake, or anything. And just leave it alone.
Yeah,
and I kind of hope they do.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Tobey Maguire is working.
Oh God, I'm trying to think who could play
Spider-Man.
Do what?
I said he played a teenager in Spider-Man.
That's true. He did
2 decades ago.
Who could they get to play those two parts though?
Tom Cruise. Little fucking life vest jacket running around. This should be amazing.
You could get. All right, Sam Rockwell could definitely play Doc Brown phenomenally. He could do it amazing at that.
Yeah,
but if it was redone, it would be like Tim Burton would do it, and it would end up being like Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, and it would be super dark. Like Marty would actually fuck his mom.
Danny DeVito as the Doc.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah,
that would be pretty good, especially if you could get, Mac to play Biff. Charlie to play Marty.
Now you're just wanting an Always Sunny reunion.
I am because they've done so many cool things. I mean, their Lethal Weapon shit was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, Jesus.
Surprisingly, they've not gotten any shit over that.
Yeah. No, they got some because that shit got pulled off of a couple of streaming services for a while. Like those, just like the Community episode with the Dungeons and Dragons episode.
But that wasn't blackface. That was just stupid.
Right, but I'm saying, but
it was black paint, but it wasn't blackface. Like Rob McElhaney legitimately was in blackface.
Yeah.
Now he didn't do the stereotypical blackface, so I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the same way that Tropic Thunder is still real strong, and that didn't get completely pulled.
No, it's I heard an interview with Robert Downey Jr. said, if he wouldn't do it if he was offered that now, which right, I get it. You wouldn't. Who would? I mean, some people would, but
yeah.
But
it wasn't even, the funny thing is it wasn't even that, like, even at the time when Tropic Thunder came out. Like even then, it was slightly controversial. Like it
sure.
Like at that point, people weren't regularly doing blackface in the media when that came out. It was kind of a shock,
Right. But the crazy thing about it is like he wasn't doing blackface. He was playing a crazy like method actor that had his skin dyed to feel what it was like to regardless. Tropic Thunder still stands up as one of the best comedies out of the last 20 years.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Like at least out of the last 20 years.
Yeah, there was a quick movie. It popped up a few months ago. Maybe it was earlier this year, or maybe it was end of last year. About there was a group of Gen Zers and alphas that were coming out and trying to say that they need to cancel and try to pull it, but it was a short-lived thing. So everybody was like, "Shut the fuck up!" It was a great movie.
Yeah, right. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
But-
have you seen any good movies lately?
Not really. Like it's Halloween, so we watch a lot of like scary movies and shit over Halloween horror movies. But
Have you
just
seen The
watched
Pope's Exorcist?
no, I haven't seen the Pope Exorcist.
Interesting movie, pretty good. I
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily call it scary. It is based on a true
It
story and
does look
stuff. but
scary. That's why I haven't watched it.
yeah,
It's more of a thriller like drama than it does a horror.
yeah, it's 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 a good it's an enjoyable movie, but I wouldn't necessarily call it scary.
Yeah, we just
really,
watched
but-
the new Insidious movie, the last one in the series.
Oh
It was
yeah, is that?
terrible. I hated
Oh,
it.
was it?
It was the feel was true to thing, but they did so much in developing like what the people had been doing in the character development. They didn't push the scary they wanted, and they wrapped the whole series up with a nice little bow. So it was like, and I like horror movies that end like very questionably. Like I don't really like that's
Yeah.
one thing I don't like about a lot of American horror movies because the good guys or good always still triumphs in the end, or there's a bow on it, and they might have like if they're opening the series up that there might still be some evil afoot, but
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man, but it didn't capture the same.
Gotcha. So, what do you think about? And it's been several years since it came out, but the Evil Dead kind of reboot, remake, or whatever that they did, that was like super dark, gruesome kind of
I
like.
haven't seen Evil Dead Rises, but I love the original Evil Dead trilogy, right?
Yeah, for sure, same.
Then the remake I thought was very good. Very good.
It's good, but it's not. It didn't like. It should have. Hold on a minute. What's
Miss
this?
Florida,
Laura Ford says, new on your life. So do we just talk about movies and plays? I see this is called the 70s. So, Laura,
advertising going on here, to be honest.
What did you say?
It's a little false advertising here, to be honest.
Yeah, so we're streaming on that 70s page. We are not the owners of the page, right? But we talked about some we were both born in 81. We talked about a little bit of that earlier, just what kind of crush we had on Suzanne Summers. But honestly, Laura, we're a show that talks about anything and everything, and we really kind of shit on everything. So by all means, jump in, chime in, and let us know whatever we're talking about at the time, because we'll switch topics quick sometimes.
Yeah.
But just if you got a comment on something that we're talking about, then throw it in. We'll read it out. We'll reply to you. Like this is interactive as you want it to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
About the new Evil Dead.
Do what now?
Had the same feel as the old one. Is that why?
I wish it had not been Evil Dead. I wish it had just been just been that movie, right? I didn't care for that.
See, I liked it because it was an actual horror reimagining of the Evil Dead. It showed what Evil Dead. It was, to me, it was like an alternate universe.
Yeah, I get that. I didn't hate it. I don't know. There's just sometimes there's a movie that's in the same universe as something that's already happened and is beloved, that I just kind of wish that they would,
right. Well,
stay out of that universe, stand on your own.
But I think with the Evil Dead though, it wasn't necessarily a reboot. It was a proper remake, right? Like they remade.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't just like they were rebooting the stuff.
Except it was a brother and sister, and so.
Like I said, it was a remake.
No, I got you. I get it. I agree with you. I just I enjoyed the movie. I just
like the tongue thing. Oh, the race blade. Yeah, fantastic. So good.
Yeah. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Evil Dead Rise.
I have not seen Evil Dead Rise yet.
It's
been on my list, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's okay.
Gotcha. See, Lyric loves the Conjuring universe movies.
Olivia and I do too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Good question, Laura. Since you're talking about movies, have you seen the new Exorcist? And if so, what did you think? I heard it was terrible. Go ahead.
No, I say I haven't. I have conflicting opinions in my soul about the previews that I've watched trailers on it. But I'm gonna watch it because I love the original, but I don't have high hopes. I don't know why, but I don't.
So same. I work with a guy that he and his wife go see horror movies all the time. They buy that monthly pass for like Regal, so they go they'll see like 6 movies a month or something like that. And
Goddamn.
yeah, well, they're one kid is grown and they're in their 50s. They can do that, so they just do. They'll go and see a triple feature one day or whatever. But I just don't have that kind of patience and attention.
I used to do that shit. I'd just buy one ticket, just go in the morning, plan my day out, then hot movie all day. That's the way to go.
So I heard it was terrible as well, except from him. He said that he really enjoyed it, and they watch a lot of horror. He's the one that said I should watch The Pope's Exorcist. Horror, yes. Horror.
Okay.
Horror.
Continue.
Yeah. It's horror.
Horror.
No, so I did hear the same, Laura, that I heard that it was not good from the mass public or whatever the stuff I've heard and seen and read, but he said it was pretty good, and so far anything he's told me to watch I've enjoyed, so I'm sure I'll watch. I won't go see it in theaters, but I'll watch it.
I won't go to theaters now. I can't.
For me, it depends
so much. I hate it
on the movie. I do too, but that's why I try to go on days and at times when there's going to be less people.
I've tried that as well, but the last 4 times I've been, like, in a row, 4 times, there has always been some assholes in there that just make me want to do murders.
Sure.
Every time.
Sure.
No matter the time of day. And I can't even blame it on a demographic or an age group or a social group. It's everyone. It's just like, since fucking COVID, all like people, it's their living room.
People are entitled
It's
now.
their living room. They treat it like they're watching a movie in their fucking living room, and I want to kill them.
I don't necessarily blame COVID. I blame those theaters where you can order food and have it delivered to you at your seat.
Yeah, well,
that's insane.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it started getting worse post-COVID. Like, after COVID, people started coming back out and doing shit. There was a noticeable problem. But but the certain theaters, I've been to a couple that serve food at the tables, and I don't mind it if it's done right, but for the most part, yeah.
For the most part, it's not done right. But the problem is it's bad enough hearing people eat popcorn and candy in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Somebody orders some nachos or some wings or something, you're gonna hear them smacking and crunching on shit like that. Give me a break. And if they can drink alcohol in there, that just makes assholes worse.
Well, like, there's one I went to, they had a 21 and up section, which was like at the balcony, basically.
Yeah.
And you could order.
Laura agrees with us. Always assholes in theaters.
Yeah, but you could order food in the balcony, 21 and up, and they kept that separated. And then you had the rest of the theater.
the privé in Monaco.
That was one, yeah, and that wasn't as bad because you could not be up there. Plus, they charged an arm and a leg for that shit. But honestly, if I could pay, like, I would pay double ticket prices if I could go to a theater that would guarantee me no one under 21 would be there.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice.
They had 21 and up showings only, and I'd pay $25 a ticket to go to that shit. $30 a ticket, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. The problem is 21 and up, there's just as many loud assholes.
But it gets but you start shrinking the demographic a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. You do
shrinking a little bit.
Well,
but no, you're right. Like, the last time I went, there's a group of people. They were probably all in their 30s or 40s and just redneck as shit and talking loud and talking on speakerphones. And dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I've said the same thing about airline or flying too, man. If they would have adult only flights that you could guarantee no kids would be on, I would pay out the ass to fly places if I could get on a plane with no fucking kids. I hate kids on an airplane.
I mean, I hate kids on an airplane too, but I just noise canceling headphones and
which
go
helps
to sleep.
Helps to a point, but it doesn't help if you got a kid kicking your seat or running up and down the damn aisles.
No, that's for sure.
Have you ever tripped a kid on a plane?
No, but I've never been on a plane where a kid was running up and down the aisles. I've been on a plane where a kid was pitching a fit, kicking seats and things like that, but not running up and down the aisles.
I tripped a kid once. It was very satisfying. Very satisfying.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
You sound like that guy that was at the ballpark that day that just shoved that kid, like, just grabbed him by the neck and threw him to the ground. That little shit deserved it.
That kid attacked him.
Hey, well, I mean, the kid did. Did he do any damage? No. Got an early day tomorrow. Good luck with your show. Thank you, Laura. Tune back in the next time we're doing this.
Or
whatever that is. Right. Or just catch the replay on the YouTubes. Oh God. So
So, yeah. God damn it. I got this cough. I went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I had gotten like like upper respiratory sinus infection, whenever season starts changing right before I went. And I got there and I was all stopped up and shit. And it was fine, not a big deal. And then I got back home this last week and it's been like instead of usually it's gone in a few days, but it's been like slowly breaking up. But I've just been coughing like a motherfucker for like 4 days now. It's stupid.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, what, Montezuma's revenge down there in Puerto Rico?
No.
I know. That's Mexico. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was my first time in Puerto Rico, though. I mean, years ago during the first marriage, we did a cruise, I think, and I think I did a quick port call there, but I don't remember. It's like 20 something years ago. But otherwise, that's kind of my first time going. It's a different place, man. Puerto Rico is a unique.
You bite your tongue. It's America as well.
It is America. It's like third world country America.
No, we own it. It's not America. We own it. We just give them statehood.
Yeah, we won't let them vote. Won't let them have any other fucking like all that.
We'll tax them though.
Yeah, goddamn right. Yeah,
we'll send all the hurricanes their way. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to go to Puerto Rico.
I was not a fan. Like it was crazy fucking hot, crazy fucking humid. Well, I mean, it's beautiful. Beaches and stuff were beautiful.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It was like again, it was like if you saw like, and I know they're still recovering from some of the devastations from the hurricanes and shit. Was like 2017 or whatever, but no, it's just I don't know. Like in the inner part of the island's really nice, when you get more tropical and shit. But Puerto Rico and like San Juan and shit, it's a fucking shithole, man. It's not a fan.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. I'd like to go.
Yeah, no, it's worth going. I would go for a place you can go with no passport that's tropical.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's tropical. It's Caribbean-ish, except for how run down parts of it are.
That's
from
the Caribbean. The whole Caribbean is basically.
Well, sure, but in certain parts of the Caribbean, because it's so much more tourism, those parts of it you really can go there without seeing the rest of it. But in Puerto Rico, it's a little harder to.
Yeah, I mean, the resort we're on was fantastic, and like Old San Juan, like Old Town, was really fucking cool. Like if you like history and like it's very European feeling with the cobblestone roads and shit. So that's really cool. But as a whole, nah, I'd rather go other tropical places that I have been.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've talked about some things like that, but only two of us in my family have passports anyway, so it's like if we're gonna go somewhere that's Caribbean-ish, Caribbean-like, whatever you want to call it, and you guys aren't getting passports or whatever, it's gonna have to be Puerto Rico or what's the
or why don't you just go places where you want to go and not worry about the people that don't have passports? Well, their problem because they're adults.
Sure, except one of them happens to be my wife. So
that's our problem. Go anyway.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, so it's basically, without a passport, you basically have, what is it, Guam, Puerto Rico, and was it the U.S. Virgin Islands?
In Hawaii.
Hawaii, but it's a state. So I'm not counting other states.
I got you. Territories.
That's right.
Yeah. I want to. Amanda finally got her passport this year, so we're gonna try to take a couple trips without kids.
Nice. Where do you think you're going to try to go first?
She has wanted to go to Paris for forever, so we're gonna probably next year try to do a Paris.
French. The French.
Right. But food, architecture, all that good shit, art. And then probably someplace tropical. I think we're gonna try to go to Belize actually at some point for
that sounds nice though.
Yeah.
Belize does.
Yeah, like I want to go. Like the few places on my bucket list that I really want to. Like Bora Bora is like in my top 5 or top 3, but it's so fucking expensive to go. It's so expensive to go.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it expensive? You just commissioned a house to be built. I think you'd be all right going to Bora Bora. More like Bora Boring.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
No.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
I know.
Yeah.
I still would like to go over to some other parts of Europe. I'd like to do Scotland and Ireland, and I'd like to do Sweden and Norway and some of that as well. But
here in a few months, man, tickets to fucking Gaza is gonna be cheap as shit.
You ain't lying. It's gonna be really cheap. Yeah, you probably go to Gaza. You probably go to Jordan. You probably go to several places over there pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So
Pretty soon. Just gotta give it a few more weeks. If we don't, break out in a full fucking World War III, we'll be okay.
well, I mean, it does sound a lot like Revelation out there.
Oh,
So,
Jesus Christ.
no, I'm just
I know what you're doing. Well, no, so like I'm going this week to pick up my dad. Because for his birthday, which is back in like June, they bought him tickets to like a NASCAR ride along because he's always wanted to fucking ride in NASCAR and shit. And they have those here in Charlotte. But he had neck surgery, right? So he's had recovery time, so he's just now able to do it. So I'm going to get him this week to bring him up for it. But it's going to be in a 7-hour drive, and there's going to be a whole lot of. I'm gonna get a lot of good conversation about what's going on in the Middle East and
I'm sure.
all that stuff.
It's his birthday. You guys couldn't fly him to Charlotte?
No, it's expensive as shit to fly here from Huntsville. Jesus.
I know. Oh God. I think one of the F1 teams is based out of North Carolina. I think one of them. I mean, it'd be much cooler to ride along in an F1 car than a NASCAR.
Yeah.
No,
I
anyway.
agree. But anyway, so he's doing that. He's stoked about it. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of because as he's gotten old, like he shifts like my dad well enough. He's pretty open-minded for conversations and stuff for the most part, but he swings back and forth between back on the Christian hardcore,
I feel like a lot of it is directly related to how deep your mom is into it at the time.
Yeah, well, I think it fluctuates because my mom has been she's been in pretty deep for a few years now. Like this stuck a lot more. And so yeah, that plays a role for sure. And like it's funny because the more we talk about shit, the more type of liberal-ish she tends to, and I don't mean liberal as in politically, just more progressively, you think whatever.
More open-minded.
Yeah, more minded. And then as we talk less, then that kind of closes back up again. So it's funny.
Hey, Big T. We've talked about multiple things. We talked about some horror. So the Steven says horror movies. Right now, we're talking about the progressivism or lack thereof of Steven's dad.
No, I thought we were talking about the probability of Jesus coming back in the next few years.
Well, yeah, because if Israel's at war, that means Jesus is about to come back.
Right.
So
obviously,
I guess everybody missed him in the 40s. So
or several other times throughout the years.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
little known fact, he's come back 4 or 5 times by now. We just keep missing.
He came back. He took a look. He's like, "Fuck this."
Mm-hmm. But no, so that'll be fun conversation on the way back.
While we're on this topic, I saw a post the other day where someone posted I wouldn't call it. It's not a meme. It's probably from a little sort of like the Far Side stuff, but it wasn't Far Side. But it was just a guy standing outside. He came and he left. Of course he did. Yeah.
Just like a man.
That's right. Absentee father. No, so somebody posted this little comic thing, and it was just a guy standing outside Heaven's Gate, and the guy, whoever at the gate there to let him in was like, I'm sorry, it's a little loud. There's like 1 million dogs in here, and they get excited when somebody new shows up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the end of it, right? It's not funny or whatever, but I get the point, right? It's dumb. I get the point though. But somebody felt the dire need to comment how they nowhere biblically does it speak about dogs and animals going to heaven.
Of course, because that's what you do.
The need, right? Felt it so much that they had to type it in, proofread it, and send it in to comment on this person's,
of course,
post. I mean, that's look, when you get into some things, I'm not saying it. I would never do it, but all right, I get it. But
yeah,
this, come on, like
some people feel really strongly about that shit, man.
But why? That's the thing. But why?
Maybe they really fucking hate animals, and the thought of having spent eternity with just one is just an unbearable thought. And so
then I would direct them to where they're supposed to love all God's creatures. That's what I would direct them if they hate animals. But I just even if you hate animals, even if you hate animals.
Like, I hope there's no children in heaven.
I mean,
Not that I'm gonna be there, but
all right, let's suspend your reality for a moment.
suspended.
It's very easy for you to do.
Suspended.
Yes. How do you think? Do you think when you get to heaven, what if you drop dead right now? You get to heaven and you're 42-year-old, the same. Like, obviously, it's a spirit. I get that part, but I'm
Right.
just saying, because we can't necessarily fathom a spirit. So let's,
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of views it as you see a body walking there, right?
Right.
Do you think that's what it is? So if you're a child and you die, you just get to heaven and you're just a kid forever? Or how does that work? Like, in your mind, how is that?
So suspending belief, I don't know. I'd like to think that everybody, if we're going to down this hypothetical route,
Sure,
that
we are.
if you're in like a physically identifiable body, that when you die and get to heaven, whether you died when you were little or you died when you're really old, you come in and appear at whatever your optimum prime would be.
Oh, Optimus Prime. Okay.
Yeah, Optimus Prime.
Gotcha.
Whatever your prime, your optimal self. Like, so if that would have been you at 23, then that's how you're going to appear to everybody. If that would be you and you're at 40, then that's how that you're going to appear. Like whatever the pinnacle of you, or I guess whatever the fullness of your potential would have been physically is where you.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I only say that because we obviously know that fat people aren't going to heaven. So, that's why I just assume.
So T says the best things I've seen on Twitter was a post someone replied to that said, "What would you do if you saw Jesus getting jumped?" And the first reply was the same thing he did during slavery. Nothing. Fucking mic drop. I mean, like, legitimately. That's if you comment something like that, I'm completely excused. It's completely. I get it completely.
Bravo.
But trying to go biblical and on something like that is what I don't get.
Right? Yeah, and I've always thought about that, because if you think heaven's a perfect place and there's only perfection that exists there, then it only makes sense that the being that is perceived there is going to be the perfect version of whoever you are, whatever that would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, I get that. I can dig that.
Okay.
I've never really thought about it like that. I've really not ever really put a ton of thought into that.
I haven't.
Honestly,
I just pulled that on my ass.
No, but that's but it makes complete sense, right? Yeah. It's even remotely theologically or biblically or whatever, that makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
So
I'm a deep fucking thinker, yo.
You are, and quick too. That was quick. If you just pulled that out of your ass, that was quick. Oh God.
Oh my God. So actually, the T saying that, not specific about Jesus getting jumped and nobody doing anything, that's hilarious. But and I'm sure this has been going on for a while, but just you see more and more now pockets of videos of seeing seeing people like just getting the shit kicked out of it, and everybody just standing around like watching and filming the shit. Like there's been so many videos in like New York and California and shit of just people, just like groups of people just kicking the fuck out of individuals, and nobody's doing anything. Like I don't understand it.
I mean, at least it's consistent, right? No one did anything for any of the people that cops have killed. So I mean,
yeah, I guess so. But I mean, even then we've talked about that shit before too. Like just just a complete like inability, or I shouldn't even say inability, but
it's completely apathetic.
Yeah. Well, that's weird. What's weird too, but like I consider myself a very fucking apathetic person, but I also have a very strong sense of internal justice. Like it's my own whatever, it's skewed.
Sure.
Whatever.
100%. I get it. Yeah.
But like I can't stand seeing like I guess just somebody in a weaker position getting destroyed by people that are in a position of more power, right? Like if it's a one
mentality.
Yeah, like if it's a one-on-one fight, like as far as civilians go, fucking I'd let it go. One-on-one until the dude's down and limp, then fucking pull the guy off, whatever, but let him go. But when you got like 6 dudes on one, and then I get not wanting to jump in the middle of that shit because it's 6 dudes and then it's just gonna be 6 on 2. But but still, you know what I mean? But there's usually enough people that could break that shit up. But it usually ends up just increasing in size.
The crazy thing to me is when you see people that do nothing, but they will take the time to stand there and record it. Is
Right.
the thing. That's
Right.
the crazy thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like what
but-
T just said. Heaven's supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, it's not demoted for an individual. It is for the collective. It is for the church. It is for the kingdom of God. It is his idea of perfection, not ours.
Yeah, sure. But we're made in his image, so it's kind of ours too. So
Right, but we don't still get the final say.
well, his thoughts are not our thoughts. His
Which
ways are
always
not
actually
our
that begs a question that's something I've thought of before. Is so if you believe not in predestination, but in actual free will of humanity, right? As people, as individuals, we have the ability to choose our lives, right? So we can choose Christ or accept Christ, go to heaven, go to hell. It's our choice, blah, blah, blah. But and I've asked this before and I've always gotten really shitty answers. But so my question has been, so when we get to heaven, if the promise has been fulfilled, the covenant's fulfilled, all the Christians are up in paradise, whatever. Do we still have free will at that point, or then do we become part of a mindless collective like the angels, with the inability to have our own free will at that point? Because you can't.
Angels don't. I mean, angels have free will, right?
No.
Well, how could they decide to turn against God?
It was just Lucifer, but yes.
Yeah, but the rest of them followed him. I mean, several more of them followed him.
He didn't get kicked out for disobedience. He got kicked out for envy.
Sure, but he also turned against God, though, right?
Because he was envious of God's creation and didn't want.
Yeah, so he had free will, right?
No, he had emotion. It doesn't mean free will. It just means
all
emotion.
right, fine.
Because that's how God rolls. If it's in your heart, right?
I've been jumped several times in my life and never hit the ground. Life ain't fair, so you got to be ready for the worst the world has to offer, unfortunately.
That's because I ain't never jumped, you bitch.
I would pay money to see that. I would pay money to see T just maul you.
Right. But I'm just saying, so part of if we still have free will when we get to heaven, then it's not going to last long because humans have proven to be imperfect.
But you won't be human anymore.
Reset. Right. Well, we have we're just a soul. Do we have any kind of humanity? Like, what makes us human? Is it just because we have a physical body?
Yeah, but that's the thing is you're a soul and you get to heaven, right? So that you're not human anymore. You can still have free will, but you're not a human, right? You lose that everything, like you said earlier, it's perfection in heaven, right? If it's supposed to be like there's no sin in heaven, there's no
right
whatever. But I get what you're getting at. There's if you have free will, heaven may not be very fun for some people,
right? Exactly.
Especially depending on who's right.
Like when I jump T in heaven, he hits the ground.
Falls right through the cloud.
Right through the clouds.
So let's see if you remember this. Where are we going to meet up when we get to heaven?
Oh, Jesus. I don't remember. I don't remember this.
Oh, it's from Scrubs, man. It says on the lesbian cloud by the milkshake pool.
Milkshake pool, that's right.
Lesbian cloud by the milkshake pool.
Yeah. My bad. No, I don't remember that.
You there, player? Yeah. So
that show has not held up, by the way. I went back and tried to rewatch.
In what way?
I'll go. Just not. I just don't enjoy it as much. I don't know if it's just because I'm older, more cynical, or if it's just I don't like the humor. My humor's changed. Whatever. I don't enjoy it. I tried to rewatch it not long ago, and I could not get back into it again.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's
from nostalgia. I enjoy it, but from like just an actual enjoyment of the show, no, it hadn't held up for me like some other shows have.
I got you. Interesting. So I had something I meant to bring up earlier, and I think this is what I had forgotten. But so I've been to a couple different comedy shows recently.
Yeah, that's right. You went to Chappelle, and
I went to see Tosh. Saw Daniel Tosh in Knoxville, and then 2 nights later saw Chappelle in Nashville. Daniel Tosh, phenomenal. He has figured out how to kind of in marriage and parenthood. He's got a couple kids now, whereas comedy's kind of progressed, but that's still that same snarky Tosh feel to it.
Okay.
Very good. One of his openers was Ian Edwards, which was very much a surprise. He's a pretty well known comic, but
Never heard.
yeah, I wouldn't expect you to.
Well, not
Um,
that well known.
yeah, Tosh was great. It was really
Nice.
really good. But
Because he hasn't lost step. Like I feel like one of my favorites. Like I love Bill Burr, but I feel like he's lost a step since he's gotten happy and married and worked through.
oh, I disagree with you. I mean, I think his comedy specials are just as good as any of the
The
other ones.
last one
I
at
think,
Red Rock was it Red Rocks? Was that?
yeah, I thought that was phenomenal.
See, I thought it was just a rehash of the same old shit that he's done.
No, I don't think it was.
I didn't enjoy it personally.
Let's see. What do you got here, T? My version of heaven is being happy and doing what I love. If you happen to interfere with me, happiness, that's on you, especially if you can throw hands behind the pearly gates. All right.
I can throw all kinds of hands.
I didn't realize you were Catholic. But Chappelle. So
yeah, how was Chappelle?
There's only a couple of times in my life that something like this has happened. Tom Segura's last special was great. Completely agree with you, T. Saw him.
Did you cry at
Did
Chappelle?
I? No.
I did see Tom Segura's last special. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And again, he's progressed as he's gotten older, but he's still very true to what he was, and he's great. I saw him live a year and a half ago. Phenomenal. I legitimately had me within 2 minutes crying from laughing, like legitimately laughing so hard I was having to wipe the tears out of my eyes. It was fucking great.
We'll start crying. We'll quit hitting that fucking microphone.
God
damn it. So something that happened to Chappelle has never happened.
It's only happened a couple of times in my life, but when he came out on stage, obviously, right, the pop is huge. Like the crowd goes crazy. He comes out on stage. He's got a live DJ there in between sets, which was that was a nice touch. It was nice to have that filling between acts, but he came out on stage. Legitimately, I got chill bumps because it was like there was this feeling of you're in the presence of greatness, honestly. And I can imagine, I could imagine if I met or saw Paul McCartney perform or somebody like that, I would imagine I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
But that was legitimate. He hadn't even said anything yet. He walks out on stage and like I could just feel it.
The energy. Yeah.
It was.
So who else has it happened with?
Jerry Seinfeld. It happened when I saw Jerry Seinfeld, and I'm trying to think. I can't remember the other one right now, so it must not have legitimately happened, or I'm just really old now.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld and Chappelle both were like, when they came out on stage, it was like you're seeing a master at work, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I can relate that for some shows that I've seen. I've never seen any stand-up or speaker, but I've seen.
So the first time I saw MXPX, I felt that, but I was a teenager, so I don't count it.
Right.
Because anything like that is amazing to you when you're 16. Right. But
they're gonna be in Atlanta with the Ataris, by the way, next year.
Really?
We should go. We should go.
Okay. When are they gonna be there?
It's like March or some shit of next 2024.
Okay. All right, I think I might be able to make that far in advance. I might be able to make that happen. But so he comes out, right. Everybody had to lock their phones up, so you can't take pictures, no video. So, which really, that's the first show I've been to where you had to lock your phone up. I've been to multiple shows where it said, no cell phones. If you're caught with your phone out at all, even if you're not taking pictures, you're going to be escorted off the property, right? Yes. So. But they gave you the yonder bag. You had to lock your phone up, and but the comedy is better with the phone locked up, man, because the freedom for them to be able to honestly say whatever they want. Like Donnell Rawlings was the third opener, which I knew Donnell Rawlings was funny, but he is fucking hilarious, man. He's really funny. But I mean, Chappelle and he riffed a lot, and which was, I don't know. It's so, it's so hard to really explain everything the way it deserves to be,
Right.
right? But it was phenomenal. I mean, it was just amazing.
Okay.
So anyway, gonna see Nate Bargatze in December.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't even know who that is, do you?
Yeah, I knew Nate Bargatze is.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so he's the only comedian that works clean that I never think about him working clean while I'm watching his specials or anything like that.
Okay.
He's funny. Like him, Tennessee Boy, that's always nice as well. But um
What do
yeah,
you
and
think about Jerry Seinfeld? Jerry Seinfeld's I don't want to say villain arc, but this later stage, it's a little more gruff and
love it.
assholey. Yeah.
I love because I think he's always been that way. He just kept a specific persona
Right. But he's
in
let go of
public.
that a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he told a rape joke when I saw him
Yeah.
last year. Like and then everybody laughed, and he told everyone you should be ashamed of yourself laughing at a rape joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was great. But he's talked about phones or whatever, and like somebody stood up and to take a picture or something, he said something, and he's like, no, I don't care, you know,
Yeah.
it, I've done this long enough that I'm not concerned about losing my life or my career or whatever over
Right.
anything you could record. Right? Take all the pictures you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you don't disrupt the show, I don't give a shit what you're doing, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's what
But
gets me sometimes. I think it's funny about, and I think we've talked about this before, like a long time ago, but when guys like Ricky Gervais or he's the big one, but there's some other guys when they'll say like, "Oh, you shouldn't apologize for this. You should say you stand by your comedy," and I agree with that.
yeah.
But it's also much easier when you're at a point that you can say whatever the fuck you want, and it's
Oh, yeah,
not
for
gonna
sure.
affect what you do, because those
Yeah.
guys can say they came up in a different time. We could say that shit, and they just never stopped. But they had enough money where it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. When you're
As
Jerry
opposed to someone
Seinfeld and Ricky Gervais, and you've got not just fuck you money, you got fuck me money, right? You can
Right.
do whatever you want. Who cares? But yeah, for sure. But it's starting to take root more with the younger people who don't have that kind of money, especially with some of the older comics that believe that all is fair in comedy,
Right.
and if your intention is not ill, then you're fine or whatever. And I mean, Joe Rogan just happens to be one of them that believes that, and he does a lot to bring along young comics and back them
Right.
if they get. I mean, you look at Shane Gillis, who got hired and fired from Saturday Night Live in the span of a week or so because he did a Chinese accent / impression on a podcast.
Right.
And I mean, and he's huge now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a special on Netflix, came out a few weeks ago, that's really funny. I mean, he does this like skit show on YouTube with another guy called Gillian Keeves, and it's funny. I mean, but so it's starting to take hold in the younger
Mhm.
crowd now, but it's because they've got the backing of these people that have that kind of money.
Yeah.
Is really the thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested. So two things. One that popped up is, what do you have you have any opinions or heard about Seinfeld hinting at there's going to be something done with the show at some point?
I haven't heard about that. No.
Yeah, he came
somebody asked him about that he did a
Yeah.
Q&A at the end of his show. He
Mhm.
basically took like 3 or 4 questions, and the people asked the stupidest questions ever.
Yeah.
One was, "What do you think about Knoxville?" And then another one was, "When are you going to do a Seinfeld reunion?" You honest to God think he's never been asked about a Seinfeld reunion ever,
Yeah.
and you think you're the one that's going to get a response from him? No, you ask him, "What's your favorite Porsche of all time?
Yeah.
What's the favorite comedian you had growing up?" Shit like
he was
that.
asked recently with one of those Q&As, and he
Yeah.
commented that he and Larry David are working on something for the final bit of Seinfeld.
Yeah, and he said, you never know. He said,
No, he confirmed
when
it.
asked that, he said, you never know what may happen.
Yeah.
Granted, this was a year ago, right? But
Yeah.
still,
So this
I
is
mean,
a couple weeks ago. This has been like the last couple of weeks.
yeah. No, I haven't seen that. Haven't heard that yet.
I just
It would be
didn't
great.
know
I mean,
the case.
I'm here for it. I just hope it's not bad. But I can't imagine if he and Larry David working together. I can't imagine it's going to be bad.
I don't think that they would get away. It would be really great if they did it and released it on like HBO or on Max or somewhere.
They could say whatever they wanted.
They could say whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Because Seinfeld's the type, he wouldn't just start dropping fucks because he could, right? It would,
Right.
but it would be a very well crafted.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah. So
Or I mean that, or he'd leave it for the other characters to do to bring that in,
Right.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
I just wonder how received that will be, right? Michael Richards still hasn't rebounded from
yeah,
that. I
his was
mean,
pretty rough though. His
it
was
was rough. No, I mean, 100% it was
yeah,
rough, right? I mean,
yeah,
but a lot of people after this amount of time rebound from a lot of things. I
yeah,
mean,
they do. Well,
and he hasn't.
ironically, and yeah, that's true. But I think ironically enough, it's easier to rebound from sexual allegations than it is from racial allegations
Sure,
in
I
modern.
guess. Yeah, I mean, sure,
Yeah,
I guess so. I
yeah,
don't know. Anyway,
I know.
um,
And I
I
had a question, but I don't remember what the fuck it was. So
oh, okay. Well, if you think of it, and you won't, but if you
yeah,
think of it, let me
no,
know.
I won't.
But
I won't.
um,
I've already let it go.
it's a great time of year for me. Not so much for you, but football season's in full swing, and hockey season started last week, which is great. I'm going to a hockey game this Saturday night.
Ice Bears?
Um, no, Predators.
Yeah.
Predators going to Nashville to see the Predators.
I miss
Yeah.
going to Ice Bears games. I do miss that taking the kids.
I do too, and probably as not this year, obviously, because the season's already starting. But I think if we're still in Knoxville next year, may look at the season ticket
Yeah.
thing.
Because see, for me, I love watching hockey. I really do. But I don't like the crowds at an NHL game. Like fuck that. Like the Ice Bears, it would get crowded, but not nearly to the level. Like it was a manageable amount of people at
Sure, but you were also here during like peak COVID, so they didn't let as many people in a lot of that time
yeah,
as well.
true.
But
But even if the arena there was completely packed, it's maybe a quarter of the amount of people that fit in.
oh,
Fucking
for
Brit-
sure, but you're still close to people,
Yeah.
right? It's still close to
It's
people.
not the closest necessarily sitting at seats. It's more of the crowd in and out that I can't fucking stand.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Because like
Okay.
it's like going to a show. Like I don't like going to arena shows. Like I'd love going to a club show, and it can be packed. There can be fucking a couple hundred people packed in there right now. I'm okay with that while I'm
So
in
you
there.
don't mind how close you are to someone. You imagine you don't like how many people are there.
Yes, it's the
Okay.
larger the crowd, the less I enjoy myself.
See, that's I'm almost the opposite. Like,
I'm on way higher alert, like mentally too, with a little bigger the crowd. Like I'm paranoid as fuck.
well, so I wouldn't say I'm paranoid, but I definitely pay more attention to stuff and kind of take note of that. But I don't want someone in my personal space is the thing. Now,
Right.
if I want to see a band or performer or whatever, I'll still go if it's going to be
Yeah.
crowded. But
Yeah,
I
I don't like
prefer
being against somebody, but if I'm going to those things, I reserve the fact in my head that that's what it's going to be, right?
Sure.
That's part of the thing, but it's more of the getting in and out when there's that many fucking people that I can't stand.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sports,
Yeah, fucking football, man.
baseball's coming to an end. I went to a Phillies game in back last time I was in
You sent me
Jersey.
pictures.
I
Congratulations.
did. I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful stadium.
Yep.
Enjoyed it. Great seats. Had a rich guy gave me his tickets,
Nice.
so I had pretty good seats. But
Well, like when I spent like fucking 2 months at the goddamn Mets, like during the early part of the season, the first time or two, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. I hadn't been to a live game in years.
Yeah.
By the fucking week of that shit, I was like, fuck this garbage. This is the worst. Yeah.
sure. No, I get that. I mean, in baseball season, baseball for sure. I think I don't know that could ever. I mean, I'd have to be really rich to buy season tickets and keep season tickets to a baseball. But I mean, the closest team is the Braves to me, and I fucking hate the Braves. So,
but the first one I was
there's
there,
162 games to a season. That's the thing. So
it's insane.
81 home games is ridiculous. Football season is what do you got in the NFL? So you got 18 regular season weeks. So whatever that's roughly 8 or 9 home games. So it's much less. And hockey's a long season as well. But I like hockey. So
well, the cool thing was like got to do the Mets. I mean, I got to do my pass. I was like all over the state. Like it was seats in all the box. Like there are fucking boxes that I didn't even know fucking existed that are for like not the rich people that have the nice box, but even nicer. Like the rich people that make other rich people look like poor people. Shit. And I'm like, holy, I didn't know this existed. and I got to go to the manager's suite, and I was of course down to the clubhouse and all that shit. So it was pretty fucking like parts of it were cool, but sitting through the games was just fucking misery.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go watch any sport if I get to sit in luxury like that. I mean, I'll go to a
Right.
cricket or rugby match, but
Right.
but
Much football.
football. So I started watching Welcome to Wrexham.
Of course you
The
did.
Yeah, I mean, I like Rob McElhenney. I
Uh-huh.
like Ryan Reynolds, so
Yeah.
of course I watched it.
Uh-huh.
It's a well done
I'm
docuseries.
just saying, are you jumping on the football bandwagon now?
No, but what I was going to say is if I lived in Europe, I think I could get into soccer.
Yeah.
I'd never call it football.
Yeah,
But
there's a major league soccer team here in Charlotte. I was gonna go
Yeah.
to a game this year, and I never went, but I've been to one when I was living in the UK for that short period of time. I got to go see Manchester United play Austria's national team, and that shit was fucking
Oh
amazing.
yeah, I can imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine. So here's the thing that I do like about at least in the UK, right where the Premier League is that
In the
yeah, um, the best two teams. There's so many divisions. The best like one or two teams in that division will move up to the next up division,
Mhm.
and the worst like one or two or four, I think it may even be in the division above. You're relegated. You drop down a division if you're
Yeah.
the worst. And I fucking love that shit. I'm like, hey, you didn't perform? Fuck you. You're gonna go play with the people that are worse.
Yeah.
And maybe you can move up. Maybe you don't. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do like that a
That'd be
lot.
cool as shit if Major League Baseball worked that way.
Oh,
Like, if you're
for
fucking minor
sure.
league team, if you suck, and if you're good, you're a major league team.
For sure. I mean,
Congratulations.
it's the same thing. If you're a major league team and you're you're one of the worst four teams in the league, you drop down to AAA, and then if you continue to do bad, then you're going to double and then single. I mean,
Right.
eventually you're playing against some 12-year-olds
Right.
in the Little League World
Babe
Series.
Ruth,
But I mean,
yeah.
right. But I do like that. But all I was going to say is that if I lived in the UK, probably anywhere in Europe, but especially in the UK, I think I could get into it because they're so ravenous about it, the same way the South is about football, especially
Yeah.
college football. So
Yeah.
I think I could get into it just because of the competitiveness of it. I just hate the way they flop around when they get touched by
Yeah.
another. That's the thing. So
I know you do.
yeah.
I know you do.
So
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think, yeah. Have you ever watched the Little League World Series?
I mean, yeah, but because nothing
I love
else was
watching little
on.
bastards cry. Like, that's my
Oh,
favorite.
now, yeah, that's
They can't regulate their emotions, because they're tiny people and they're just crying about shit, and it's fucking great.
I had to quit watching it one time because some of them were like pitching a fit over something they thought was a bad call, and it was like, and I don't know if you played some sports growing up. You didn't play tons of sports growing up. I don't think. Maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
played
wrong,
baseball
but
through high school and soccer
yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
So we were always taught, even if the ref, whatever, makes a bad call, you still aren't disrespectful.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't run your mouth. And to see 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds just throwing their bat down and running their mouth at an umpire, whatever, it like just makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
It's
You wanna
just you
smack the
little
shit out of the kid.
shits.
Yeah.
Do what?
You want to smack the shit out of them. Yeah.
I want to take the bat and just knock it right upside his head.
Yeah.
We could have another autistic kid going in the world.
Right.
I mean that shit just like if you're an adult and you're getting paid to play sports and the umpire is getting paid good money to ump a game or whatever, fine, right? There's a lot more involved in this.
Well, you're also both adults.
You're right. You are also both adults,
Yeah.
but
That's my thing. Like, if you're watching, even it's starting at college age or whatever, it's a little different than still, but after you're an adult and you have another adult that's, calling the game or whatever, at that point, you fuck around and find out. You run your mouth if you want to run your mouth. You get kicked if you do, but you're a grown ass person talking to another grown ass person. You're not a fucking 9-year-old, yelling at a fucking 30-year-old man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when growing up, and this is just different. Like my sister dated this guy, and I think he was 16, and he was pulled up at a gas station, and was running his mouth to this.
Oh, you've told this story a million times.
Have I on the show?
Yes.
Oh,
go ahead. Some people may not have heard it before.
Oh, I was just saying the dude fucking knocked his ass out, punched him in the fucking face, and tried to press charges. And the cops were like, "Nah, shouldn't have been running your mouth." But Indian Jesus, what's up?
Hey,
buddy?
what's up, man? So Indian Jesus, I think it's Discord, maybe or not. He's got a cult following, man, to the extent that he's calling them disciples
Oh
on
shit!
Discord. Like there may be another January 6th coming sometime soon. But
I wish we were popular kids.
I wish we could storm the Capitol, but we have jobs
Right.
and a little bit of self-respect, not much.
No, I don't have self-respect.
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you
I
earlier.
just have a love of money, and I can't make money if I don't have a job.
That's true.
But it's
That's
not
true.
self-respect; it's just self-preservation.
So, I know I can't remember if I talked about this last time, right? But I've had multiple things happen over the last year that is just like age catching up with me, right?
Menopause. Yep.
Well, I did have menopause or
Yeah.
menopause.
Menopause. Yeah.
Menopause, right? No, I mean I had a doctor tell me I needed to lose weight, like straight
Well,
up, like
Yeah.
you're getting older, you need to
You do.
lose weight.
You
Yeah.
fat piece of shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I am. I've gone through what I can only describe what I've gone through over the last 4 months, what people have described as depression. I
Yeah.
don't know if I don't feel much different, but I
Yeah.
just am just eating myself to death lately.
Yeah. You're just a glutton.
I am gluttonous.
I told you my VA doc told me that one of the last times I was in. He just looked at my chart. He's like, "Holy shit, you've gotten fat!" Like that's the doctor. That was straight up. No editing. I was like, "God damn."
Well, she didn't say that, but she
Yeah.
did tell me, like, look, you need to lose weight.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. So, and I did the prostate exam. I've had to get they're progressives, but bifocals. I went with
Mhm.
progressives just so everyone knows I'm an ally. But
Right.
but I am now 1 month into I have a CPAP machine now. Like I'm
I have a
sleeping
CPAP
with
machine. I got one too. CPAP buddies.
That's hilarious.
Use it though. I've tried. Like I've got to pick it back up again, but because I sleep on my side,
Yeah.
and no matter how I get it, as soon as I get to my side, that shit springs a leak. It goes.
Mine starts to do that too, but I got one, and I meant to grab the little piece that goes on because it goes around my mouth, and then my nose sits on it.
Okay.
And so it's got holes that blow the air up into my nose, but then it covers and seals up around my mouth,
Right.
so that if my mouth opens, it doesn't break that vacuum, that
Right.
seal or whatever.
Right.
So occasionally, if I roll over on my side, it will break that seal a little bit. And it'll wake me up and I'll adjust it. But yeah, a CPAP machine, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't had a problem sleeping with it. There's my last week in New Jersey, I can remember one night waking up in the middle of the night and in my sleep trying to get it situated and finally just taking it off and throwing it in the floor. But other than that, it's not been that bad. I've had to start sleeping with a wedge pillow.
Okay.
Because that was the thing that the sleep doctor told me. She was like, try sleeping on your back or your side, but maybe try a wedge pillow because I sleep with my mouth open.
Yeah.
So anyway, what's this he's saying here? I think I need a CPAP. I don't know. I haven't been to the doctor in forever. I'm probably falling apart.
Probably.
I don't know. You probably got good genes, man.
No, I've noticed. I don't know about you, but over the last, I'm going to say probably year, there is a much more drastic day-to-day variance in my average flaccid dick length than I ever thought possible.
Huh.
Like
elaborate.
Like fully erect, same old, right? Shit, whatever. But like there are some days where things kind of like hang in a normal flaccid fashion. Sometimes it's like it's fucking 20 degrees outside and it's just a little tip poking out. And then sometimes there's a great variation on a day-to-day basis. And I haven't found a constant causative factor other than just I'm fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
what's bad is I'm a grower and not a shower anyway. And so
same. I still don't grow a lot, but
yeah.
But still,
What's
this? Have you ever heard of people taping their mouths shut when they sleep? It's supposed to help. I have heard of that.
Yeah, that works if you don't have the severely deviated septum and
sure.
I can't breathe.
So I've heard of that. I was actually going to try it before I got the CPAP, and I may still do it because I still sleep with my mouth open in there, so I still wake up with dry mouth in the morning.
You should tape your mouth shut. You just got to increase the water in your CPAP. But yeah, you tape your mouth and then put the CPAP over it.
Well, that's what I thought about doing. And the doctor told not the doctor, but the person that set me up and fitted me for the CPAP machine was like, well, don't do that because if you throw up in your sleep, you could aspirate. I'm like, first off, if I die because I threw up in my sleep and I'm not on hard drugs, then I deserve it and fine. I'm okay with that.
My body is too weak to.
That's 100% right. But I'm not I'm not worried about aspirating from throwing up in my sleep. I mean, I haven't thrown up from anything other than not drinking, than drinking in a long time.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I thought that a few months ago, I went to bed, I had some really wicked heartburn. And when I guess sometime in the middle of the night, I had really bad acid reflux that came up and I basically started it gagged me. And I woke up and I couldn't fucking breathe. And I was choking on that shit. And I was like, I'm fucking dead. Now's the time. I'm gone.
this is how I go.
This is how I go.
Pussy ass acid reflux. My mouth be dry as fuck. I wake up in the middle of the night like I'm in the Sahara. That's how I used to wake up in the morning. Would be just tongue glued to the top of my mouth because my mouth is so dry.
Mouth dry like my ex-wife's pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't remember it being that dry, but still.
Fair.
Yeah, so CPAP machine. I did not know you're on a seat. When did you get your CPAP machine? I didn't know that.
A few months ago. It's actually probably 8 months ago. And I used it for like a month, and then I woke me up every night, and it's been sitting by my bed. I need to get back on the habit and try to. I might try to get a different kind of mask to see if that'll help. But
yeah,
because mine's the full over the nose and mouth.
Yeah, I didn't want that. I definitely didn't want that. Does your hose connect to the front of your mask?
Yes, but it swivels and all that shit. Like the hose doesn't bother me at all.
Mine connects to the
top.
Hose connects up here, and then it goes down around, and then behind my head is where the straps and everything go and connect to the mask. And so, no matter whether I'm on my side or not, that hose is never going to hit anything. It's always going to be at the top. But still, if you roll over to your side far enough, you're definitely still going to break that seal.
Yeah. Like if I could sleep on my back, then it would be fine. But my back hurts like a motherfucker if I lay flat.
Really, mine hurts less when I sleep on my back.
I have to lay on my side, and I have like another pillow that I put my knee over. And so I'm kind of like whatever. And that's
if I sleep on my side, that's what I do. I stuff a pillow between my knees.
See, I can't do between the knees. I have to have one over the other leg. So one leg straight and my other. You know, if you've ever been to a chiropractor and they fucking pop your back, your knee over, it's almost that position, except the knee's elevated.
Interesting.
Yeah. We haven't night cuddled in a while, so you're probably unaware of my sleeping patterns.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love how the numbers for the stream have just progressively dropped as
I know. Wow,
fantastic.
Right? I mean, it's story of the show, right? But whatever. It's nice to do the show again.
It is. It is.
I was surprised to get that text message from you today.
Which one?
Oh, the one that said you were actually excited about doing a show tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's because we're not doing it every weekend. I'm not having to drive to your fucking house every Saturday.
So, I'm sorry, you didn't have to drive 10 minutes to get to my house.
It was like 15. God damn it.
Okay, excuse me. Keep it riding.
No, it is weird because now I am doing a weekly show like on Mondays, and like it's one of those, and it's weird because it's a news show, like it's a news and commentary show. So like do you
have to prepare for it?
No, I don't have to prepare for it, but I do like read the news throughout the week more than I used to, like just to whatever. That's as much as I do. I refuse to do any more than some light reading, but they have a couple threads on Facebook with the team, whatever. Because it's a whole broadcast network and shit, and they're constantly it's just blown up with news stories and stuff like that. And everybody's super invested and committed, and I'm like, oh, cool guys, cool.
Oh god, so language, they make you curb your language?
No, not really. They did just a little bit, but the weirdest thing about the show for me that I don't know how I feel about it. I should say enough because I enjoy it. Like the crew's great, whatever. And in our answer to Indian Jesus, it's mostly world / like military veteran news. It's a armed force. It's a veteran run network, and so it's very heavily military based and things involving that. So a lot of Israel and Ukraine and all that shit right now. But what's weird, because me, I don't give a fuck about 90% of it, so I have to feign interest to a point, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. I can bullshit, but I don't know. But I was talking to Amanda, and I was like, the only thing about it, and it's not a bad thing, it's just that in my mind, because of how things are in society nowadays, I know that it would stamp a label on me, and I don't like having a label stamped on my ass. I don't like it. And that's
Sure.
the only thing. Yeah. So that's the only thing.
What's the label you don't want stamped?
Because I feel like inevitably conservative, right wing or whatever. But if you watch the show, like ICE, everybody has call signs on the show, but
of course, what's yours?
Military. They just call me Massey. I refuse to give them a cool call name. I just call my last name. But no, but he's very he shits on everybody equally, 100%, whatever. And it's funny because he gets tons of hate mail, and I love that aspect of it. But I just know, outside looking in, I have that stamp, that military right wing conservative stamp, and I fucking hate it. But the show is not that at all. But politically, it's probably going to lean more on the right than the left, even though it's pretty equal on a lot of aspects. But still, just me not liking being pigeonholed into shit is what bothers me, I think.
You're gonna be co-hosting Man Tools before too long.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking cunt. Yeah. Yep. But this is true.
I've tried to fight the conservative label for so long. It's pointless. Once you open your mouth, you're either one of them or a conservative.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the feeling, Lutch, that you are pretty middle ground, but you, in the way society looks at things now, you would be considered more on the conservative side, just from the stuff I've seen lately. But I think,
I
think
just
you and I line more right. You
Yeah.
and I probably align much more than.
Well, when I read
people,
the Indian Jesus, I just assume it's the Indian Trump. That's what automatically.
I got you. I got you.
That's Trump, Jesus reincarnated. But
yeah.
But no, I don't, like I said, nobody has given me that. Nobody has said that, whatever, but just in my mind, because that's the association for me with a lot of, any type of military based thing is the ultra conservative, whatever. And like I said, it's totally not the case for the shows and for a lot of the guys there. But outside looking in, if I saw it, if I just tuned in, or I shouldn't say tuned in, if someone was like, oh, hey, I do this show on this veteran run network, I'd be like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not listening to that bullshit. Fuck that,
Right.
So it's more of an internal thing, not an there's nothing that calls other than my own internal fucking whatever. But yeah, whatever.
If the
but it is weird though, because I do enjoy it, and it's the commentary's fun, whatever. But I definitely am way more ill prepared than they would like me to be most of the time. Like, oh, this came up. Did you see this? I'd be like, no. And everybody in the network is very big supporters of each other's shows. Everybody will tune in to the shows every night and comment and just to be involved and whatever. And they'll be like, oh, did you catch the show the other night? And I'm like, no, I don't watch anybody's show. What are you talking about? I don't have time for that bullshit.
All right, shifting gears. Speaking of shows, did you watch the new Rick and Morty?
I have not yet. It's on my downloaded. I have it locked and loaded. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
I will probably watch it tonight after the show, but
I have watched the trailer and the season 1 opener that they released and all that shit, and the voices are pretty fucking good. It was whoever they got to do it, it's if you listen, it's a little different, but it's not so different. It's distracting. It'll take an episode or two and it'll be fucking your brain will flip over.
I guess my biggest concern is because Rick, especially, Justin Roiland was Rick, right? I felt like a lot of his stuff was probably ad-lib improv stuff,
Right.
the burps and all that stuff, and so that's what I'm most concerned about, that it's
Right.
not going to feel like the voice is not so much, it's more of the Rick vibe. I'm
The vibe,
I'm
right.
more concerned
And that I
it's gonna
don't know,
be
but I
gone.
do know, like I said, the couple things I watched trailers wise, the voices were spot on enough to where it didn't cause me a mental like, type of shit, so we'll see.
Let's see. I only just saw if they had a new season. I'm not super excited. I'll watch it if I hear a lot of good reviews, but other than that, probably wait till the end of the season and just binge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that I get. I just
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna give it the chance, but, if it's as Steven's saying, then I'm sure I'll be fine with it.
Rick and
I
Morty
don't
is
want
one
the
of the
vibe to
few
be gone.
shows that I will actually watch new every week. Otherwise, I always wait to the end of the season so I can binge it. I
Yeah.
fucking hate waiting a week between shows. I hate it.
I'm very torn on binging things, right? Because some things that I really like, especially so something that's on like Netflix or whatever,
Mhm.
or let's just say Letterkenny when it drops on Hulu,
Right.
right? It's all there, and it's hard to not binge it.
Mhm.
But when it's over with, it's like, well, shit. Now I have to wait like a legitimately a long time until the next season comes
Right.
out. Whereas if it was old school, broadcast television, it ends and 3 or 4 months later the new season starts, not a year later, right?
6 months at the most, yeah.
Yeah, at the most. But so I'm torn. Like I do like sometimes that having that week in between because then I have to also have to digest what happened depending on what show it is
Yeah.
to kind of think about it. But
Yeah. See, I don't do any of that at all. Like I just watch it, I just consume it, and then I forget half of the
sure.
fucking season when it's over. So
Yeah. No, I haven't seen Gen V. I watched the first season of The Boys and a little bit of the second season, and then something else kind of took its place. So I never went back and got back into it. But I did enjoy what I was watching. But no, I haven't watched
no.
Gen V. Sorry.
And I don't mind the woke. I'm woke as fuck, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of wokeness. Everything's got some wokeness. I mean, but if you're looking for wokeness everywhere, you're going to find it. So,
Jesus was woke. AF.
really and truly,
Woke AF.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yep. So yeah,
Well,
buddy. It's been a good night.
it has been a good night.
Been a good
I've
night.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um,
Have to do it again more often. Have to pick it back up. Make it somewhat reg.
yeah, somewhat regular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you
No, just the usual shit, man. We could rehash a bunch of random whatever, It's what we
right.
do. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, everybody should tune in every other Sunday for
Yeah.
some weekend that we're both on.
Weekend, yeah.
It's the only thing we do regularly anymore.
Yeah, it's every other Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Broadcasts on Soul TV and the Something for the Weekend Facebook page and YouTube page.
Yep.
And yeah.
And if you like military / veteran / world news shit, WTF Nation Radio, they have a show every fucking night except for Sundays. So
Yeah.
good to see you too, buddy.
Yep.
Good to see you too. You need to come back on with us. Hang out sometime. I think.
Yeah, I'll hit you up next time we're doing a show and see if you're available.
Because we haven't had any
The
guests.
problem is right, but the problem is we don't really usually know until the week of. So
yeah, but we got a couple folks. We need to have an episode that's like the B3F fucking All Stars, and we just have we do a series of it where we have a couple of guests at the same time from different shows that we've had before that we like on at the same time, and then we all bullshit.
Yeah.
B3F All Stars. Indian Jesus would be B3F All Star. I am.
Yeah, I'm always down and can get set up pretty quickly. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So I guess that's it then. Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out. Those of you who managed to make it down the shithole.
All right. Yeah. So we'll post. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. We'll post when we're gonna do the show next time. But
Yes, sir.
until then, goodbye.
Just like riding a horse.
Yeah, except it still says we're streaming right now.
I
I mean,
didn't say we're streaming on my side.
on my side, it still says live and recording.
Oh shit. That'd be fucking awesome. Did you hit stop recording?
I did.
Should have stopped recording again.
I'm going to.